Welcome to the Adventures in Alchemy podcast, where we share tips, techniques, and true stories to support you in using the law of attraction and alchemy to create magic and live the life of your dreams. Here's your host, the founder of dailyalchemy.com, Michelle Martin Dobbins.
Hi, this is Michelle Martin Dobbins from dailyalchemy.com, and today I want to talk to you about Fantasyland. Yep, no, not the game that we used to play when we were kids. Was that called Fantasyland? I think, maybe. But I wanted to share with you, I'd gotten some comments, and when you start a Facebook page and you're sharing your work and what you care about in the world, it sometimes makes you a target for people. And I don't like to use that story, but when I first started my page, lots of odd people would come out of the woodwork, and I would get really upset at negative comments, people calling me the Antichrist and telling me all kinds of evil, nasty things. And I learned two lovely words: ban and delete, because those people are not interested in what I had to say. And there were lots of other wonderful people out there who are. But I recently got a comment on one of my posts about Fantasyland, and I'll explain that in just a second. It made me think, so I wanted to share with you my thoughts on this in case it could be helpful for you. I posted before Christmas on my Facebook page a post where you can get some freebies. I have what is called a magical freebie vault, and it has quite a lot of PDFs that you can just download for free. Planning PDFs, manifesting planners, and the lunar planner. I'm trying to remember what all's on there. There are like at least 6 or 7 different forms. And I had put that I was giving these away. All you had to do was click here and sign up and get them for free. And someone commented on my post and said, you need to leave Fantasyland and come back to the real world. And for some reason, I felt like, I should ponder this after I banned and deleted her. And not that most of the time, if someone wants to engage me in lively conversation and they are just questioning and they're saying, hey, I think this, I don't agree, that's fine. But if I feel like they're being ugly about it, or I can't help them, or we're not a compatible fit, I just ban and delete them, not to be mean, but just to know that me showing up in their newsfeed is not going to bring them joy. And that's my purpose for putting on Facebook, is to bring people joy and connect with like-minded people. But I had to think, leave Fantasyland. Well, maybe I am in Fantasyland, and that kind of pondered me, and I thought, but would I want to leave Fantasyland? Because I'm pretty darn happy and content in my life. I have wonderful kids, a wonderful marriage. I live in a wonderful house. We get to travel a lot. We get to do a lot of fun things. I get to work with some fabulous people through an online business. My husband and I get to work with some wonderful people through an offline business. I'm really happy in Fantasyland, so why would I want to leave? My reality is pretty good now, and it wasn't always that way. And what got me to a better reality was focusing on the fantasy, focusing on what was already good and what I wanted to see in my life. And the more I do it, the more I see it. So why would I want to leave? But I also have to remember, I believe it was Louise Hay who once said, I always offer a hand up. But if you don't want to come up where I'm at, then I'm not going to let you drag me down. And so that was what I kind of came to remember, was that I'm happy in Fantasyland. Apparently, she's not happy in her reality, or she wouldn't have posted that likely. But it's none of my business. My business is keeping me happy, and that's your business too, keeping you happy. And so if you have friends and family who don't get what you do, or don't understand what you believe, or think that spiritual practice is a bunch of mumbo jumbo, don't worry about it. Let it go. Stay here in Fantasyland with me. We will enjoy creating magic in our lives and seeing things happen that we want to happen. So my advice for you the next time someone tells you to leave Fantasyland or to get a grip or to come to reality or that's never going to happen. You can't do that. Yeah, stay in Fantasyland because it's good. It's good in Fantasyland. And I think if you look through history, even Walt Disney, hello, Fantasyland right there. People told him he couldn't do things. He went bankrupt. I mean, it's been a long time since I've read his story, but I know that he had a lot of people who thought he was a dreamer. Well, he made a beautiful dream come true. Whether or not you like Disney is here nor there, but it's one of my favorite places because I love the magic. And I can look past some of the other stuff. But so I would just invite you to stay in the reality you choose. If it's Fantasyland and it's a good place and you're happy and you're enjoying it, there's no problem there. And so let me know what kind of reality you're creating. You can check me out on Facebook, Twitter. The easiest way to find me is at life.Find. And if you look up in the right-hand corner of your screen, you'll find links to all of my social media platforms. I love to hear what you think. I love to hear if you have ideas for questions that you would like me to answer on the podcast. I'm always happy to do that. And I love your feedback. I love to know how things are going for you. All right, have a great day. Namaste.
Thanks for listening to the Adventures in Alchemy podcast. Connect with me on thedailyalchemy.com or Facebook at facebook.com/Michelle Dobbins, author. Join us next time for even more magical life tips.